Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. So in this video I'm going to be talking through the tech and the safety equipment on the Citroen C5 Aircross. So I've got my little camera here so I can show you the touchscreen. There we are. So here we go. Here is the touchscreen. You get an 8-inch touchscreen as standard on the Flare model, and I also believe you get one on the base model as well. And of course you get one on the range topping model. So yes, 8-inch touchscreen. It's got a nice display to it. The clarity is pretty good. It's quite crisp. So you get DAB radio. Of course you've got Bluetooth connectivity as well. There we are. You've got your DAB radio. And let's see, how do you change? There we are. I've got options there. You can go back. You can change the list. So you can choose which station you want, of course. Apologies for the slight glare. That's the sunlight hitting the screen. Got dual zone climate control. You haven't got any physical dials or knobs to operate. It is all touch orientated, which may be a disappointment to some. There we are, works well enough. I personally would prefer to have an actual dial, a physical button or something to use. But what you can do, there is a way around it. So you've got voice recognition. So
to begin, say a command after the tone.
Increase temperature.
Temperature changed.
There we are, and as you can see, it's changed the temperature, which is pretty handy. And I'm pretty sure you can do the same to decrease it.
To begin, say a command after the tone.
Decrease temperature.
Temperature changed.
It should now be at 25, which it is. But I don't think you can use the voice recognition to actually change the fan speed. So let's try.
To begin, say a command after the tone.
Increase fan speed.
Temperature changed.
No, it's just changed the temperature. So it's put it back up to 26. So a little bit annoying, but it is a first world problem. You've also got navigation as well. Let me bring my camera around a bit so you haven't got that annoying glare. Apologies guys. But yes, the clarity is pretty nice. I quite like the graphics. It's quite pleasing to look at. As you can see, the navigation is provided by TomTom. There we are. Here you can change the functions for the car. So for example, I've turned the automatic high beam off because I find it cuts in a little bit too quickly. Got parking sensors, traction control, and a few other bits. And go to vehicle settings, and you've got headlights, comfort, safety, and parking. You've got Bluetooth, of course, so it takes me to my phone menu. And you've got this little button here. Well, I say button. In case you're wondering, these are all touch sensitive, so these aren't actual physical buttons. There we are. And it takes you to your app, so you've got Apple CarPlay there. But because I've got an Android phone, I've got a Galaxy S9. I can't wait to upgrade to the S10. Bring it on. I've got the S9, so I do of course use Android Auto. Doesn't normally take this long to load, if I'm going to be honest. There we are. So it takes you to your home screen. You've also got navigation on here, so you can use Google Maps or Waze. Got your phone. Got your music. Bit of Grandmaster Flash, why not? Old school. And you've got a button there where you can return to the Citroen inbuilt system. So you've got radio, navigation, climate, Android Auto, applications, or vehicle. So the system works pretty well. You also get a reversing camera as standard. So if I pop the car into reverse, oh, I need to turn the engine on. There we are. So you get a reversing camera, and you also get and a round view monitor as well. So you get a bird's eye view of the car. Now, if you're wondering why that's all greyed out, that screen does populate once you move the car backwards. So don't think it's broken because it does come back. Let me turn the climate control off because A, it's quite warm, and B, I don't want it to interfere with the audio. And you've got standard rear view. Let's click that. Oh, you can change the modes. Okay, standard view. So, oh, that's a bit funky. Oh, I don't quite like that. zoom view. Okay, and auto mode. That just takes back to the standard mode. There we are. So the clarity is okay. It's not amazing, but it's enough to stop you from bumping into things, and you also get front and rear parking sensors. I just want to bring your attention to this, because this is very nice. So you get a 12.3 inch digital display, very pleasing to look at, very nice, very crisp. You've got a dial here where you can change the view, so you can change it to, you've got navigation, come on autofocus, you can do it. So you kind of get a bird's eye view of the road as you drive along. You've got driving, dials, minimum, personal, which is the kind of like your individual one you can customize. Driving, let's show you driving. There we are, get a Citroen C5 Aircross pop-up, which I do rather like. Dials, which as the name would suggest, gives you dials. There we are, pretty basic. And yes, you have minimum, which is very minimalistic, as the name would suggest. It literally gives you your speed and the traffic sign recognition down there. So yeah, this car does have a few safety bits and bobs as well. That is also going to be discussed in this video. So right, now I'm going to do a Sat-Nav test. I'm not going to use the Android Auto because that kind of defeats the purpose. I'm going to use the inbuilt Sat-Nav. There we are. So I am currently in Arundel, very nice place, near the south coast of England. Very nice. Actually, I can show you some of their surroundings. Very picturesque indeed. So yeah, so I'm going to set it to Worthing, which is where I've been spending this weekend. I've been visiting family. So hit search. A little bit laggy, but not too bad. So again, let me just bring you around so you can see properly. So Worthing.
Bottom left.
No, I'm just waiting for it to search. There we are, Worthing. Oh, sorry, it's waiting for me. Don't worry, it didn't crash. It's waiting for me. It's waiting for a particular road.
Brighton Road.
Brighton Road.
That leads from Lancing into Worthing, I think.
Okay. Oh, it's saying no search is found. Where's R? It's not a QWERTY keyboard, so it's throwing me right off. Brighton Road. There we go. Magic. Intersection. I don't want an intersection, so I'm going to hit OK. Yes.
Calculating route.
That's my passenger, not the system. So as you can see, the route has appeared. So I'm going to hit the road. I've got my head mount on here, so I can give you a point of view angle as I drive along. So turn this camera off, like so. Going to hand it to my glamorous assistant. There we are.
Tazzles. Oh, you look sexy with that on.
Right, so away we go. I'm going to change the display on the digital display. I'm going to change it to personal because I quite like that one. Right, disengage the electric parking brake, and away we go. Now I must say the traffic sign recognition is normally spot on, but for some reason it thinks it's 60 down here when it isn't. It's 30. As you may have seen from this camera, there are a few pedestrians knocking about. Therefore, I think it would be quite unwise to do 60 down here. Particularly as, well, for starters, that would be illegal because it is 30. So, a little bit disappointing that the Citroen system has been led astray somewhat by thinking it's 60 when it isn't. It's 30. But apart from that little error, the traffic sign recognition is normally pretty bang on, pretty good.
There were some coots and moorhens down there.
Right, so waiting to see whether their system will talk to me, because I think their voice may have been disabled. Oh, I like that. It comes up on the digital display. That's quite a nice touch.
After 200 yards,
there's the
go
voice.
left on the roundabout. First exit, Queen Street.
Thank you.
She's very polite.
Now I've got the navigation here.
Go left on the roundabout. First exit.
She interrupted me. What I was trying to say is you've got the navigation here, but what you can do, of course, you can change the display on the on the digital instrument cluster in front of you, in front of me. So I can change that to the navigation, and there we are. I get it on the digital display, and it looks very nice indeed. Meaning that if I wanted to listen to my music or do whatever, I could just simply pop that back.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout. First exit, A27 towards Worthing.
Thank you very much. So it means I can use that screen for whatever, for my infotainment system.
Cross the roundabout. First exit, the Causeway.
Thank you. But still have the navigation on this screen. Now, I know the voice is probably going to annoy you guys at some point, so I will disable her at some point. Disable her, that sounds a bit harsh. No, not that. I'm going to turn her off. That sounds just as bad.
You're going to mute her?
I'm going to mute her, yes, that sounds better. As you can see, we are now on a faster road, so it gives me a chance to test out the adaptive cruise control. So this car, the Flare model, the mid-range model, does come standard with adaptive cruise control. The only problem is the dial for it is behind the steering wheel, where you can't really see it. Well, I can't see it. It may be because I'm tall, but yes, you can see the bottom half of it, but it's not very practical. Anyway, let me actually engage it and stop waffling on. So into 6th. Right, twist this little dial down here, like so. That puts it into cruise control, and I need to set the speed. I've got a button on the back. Okay, set it to 60, and it will latch onto the car in front of me, which is a Jag. So I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. Set it to 67. He is going quite slowly, so I am going to change lane. And now I'm starting to speed up. There we are. I can just relax and let the car do its thing. Goodbye, Mr. Jagman. Nice knowing you. This car also has lane keep assist. So if I go to venture outside of one of the lanes, it will bring me back in. So let me go into the slower lane. Right, so let me get on a bit that's a bit more straight, so I can demonstrate it to you guys. Okay, starting to straighten out now. So if I go to venture out, it should bring me back in. Not quite. It doesn't help that I'm not on a straight road, of course. Oh, got blind spot warning. I forgot to mention that. As you can see, well, hopefully you saw an orange dot appeared on my wing mirror to let me know there was a car in my blind spot. Another good safety feature, which comes as standard on this car. So, just let the car go to drift out. There we are. It did bring me back eventually. It did take a bit of time, but the system does work pretty well. I'd say it works better than the Subaru XV I had last week. So the lane keep assist works pretty well, and as you can see, the adaptive cruise control is working pretty well too. So as you can see, I'm catching up to that very large vehicle ahead. It's got a static home on it. Well, not quite so static now, is it? So I should start to slow down soon. There we are. I can feel the car slowing itself down gradually, and I'm now matching the speed of the vehicle in front of me. Now you can set the distance like so. So you've got a button on the top which you can't see, which is marked gap, and that obviously adjusts your gap. So I can have close, which it's set to now. I can have distant, so the car should start to brake more to give us a bigger gap. Make sure no one wants to come on. No. And as you can see slowly but surely the gap is increasing. Or you can have normal. There we are, hopefully you can see that. So yep, normal, close or distant. So set it back to close. Anyway, let me go back to the sat-nav. So far it's worked quite well. Obviously I know I've not had the voice turned on, and in fact I actually know this route off by heart, so I don't really need a sat-nav, but the sat-nav is working absolutely fine. I like its display. I like the colours. Let's talk about some of the other safety features. So this car also has autonomous emergency braking. Obviously I can't really test that feature out, not unless I'm going to actually have a crash, which is probably a bad idea. But one thing I will say is, whereby some autonomous emergency braking, oh hello Type R, I'm actually getting one of those tomorrow, exciting times. But yes, anyway, I digress. So some autonomous emergency braking systems, they can be a little bit too eager to cut in. They can be a little bit too eager to cut in, and sometimes they can be a bit panicky. Suzuki's system is a little bit too panicky, and I find sometimes Nissan's system can be a little bit iffy. I think the mark of a good autonomous emergency braking system is that you shouldn't really notice it's there. Right, now this car also has park assist, so I'm going to find somewhere where I can try it out. So unlike other cars that have got park assist, this car doesn't really have a button for it, and to be honest I've actually forgotten this car has got park assist. So you have to go into the car's, that's really bright. You have to go into the car's menu. So driving functions, up at the top you have park assist, as you can hopefully see there. Select a maneuver, so we want to enter a parallel parking space. So give that, select which side, switch on direction indicator, fine. Are there any cars coming?
No.
Fantastic, right. Oh, be quiet. So, right, there's a quite large space here. Measuring. 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 Parking possible, go forward. Okay. Reverse, okay. Release the wheel, oh god. So here we go. Now this will be interesting because this is quite tight. I'm putting a lot of faith into the car. As you can see, my hands are not on the wheel. This doesn't feel like a great angle, I must admit. I really hope the car doesn't allow itself to scuff its alloys. Right. Yes. Are you done? Oh. Assistance deactivated. Well, I don't think it quite finished, but I am parked. Am I parked?
Pretty goddamn perfect.
Not bad.
Hang on, let me just get a bit of...
The system works.
There you go, just to get you an idea.
So I must
You
get...
parked it better than you normally park it yourself.
I must admit, I was waiting for a kind of checkered flag to come up or some kind of indication that it had finished.
I'm not gonna lie, you did get very close to the back of that car.
Yeah, no, I was watching on here.
Okay.
So yeah, right. Now I'm in the bay, parked very nicely. As you can see on the camera work by my lovely wife Patsy. Now you've also got another park assist. We've actually got two more. So you've got exit parallel parking space. I can't even get my words out. I do apologise. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure why anyone would need this one, but you know, anyway, I digress. So exit parallel parking space. So I want to turn right to make sure there is nothing coming. There we are.
Oh, it's so weird seeing it do that.
Oh blimey, it's going to be quite close to that Volkswagen. There we are. Manoeuvre completed. Take control. So there we are.
Sorry, but you shouldn't. I'm sorry, but if you can't come out of a parking bay by yourself and you have to ask the car to do it, should you really be driving?
Well, I suppose if it's a tight space and you use the park assist to get you in, you may need a bit of help to get you out. So
okay.
I think some people would find it useful. Me personally, I don't think I'd need it. And I'm not bigging myself up, I'm just being honest.
I must admit that it did parallel park itself pretty darn good.
It did actually, yeah.
It was getting to a point where I was thinking, okay, the wheels need to turn, otherwise this alloy's getting scuffed.
Yeah, well that was quite a high curb and I thought, please don't scuff those beautiful 18-inch alloys. Please
Don't worry, I'd have sacrificed my foot and broken it so it didn't break, it didn't scratch the alloys.
And that's how you know she's a keeper. Right, now there is one more park assist, and that is to park into a bay as you would in a car park. So there's a Waitrose down here. They are closed now because it's a Sunday, but the car park should still be open. So I should be able to demonstrate parking into a bay. Right, so parking possible, go forward. So I will. Reverse, release the wheel. Okie dokie. You're the boss. Oh blimey, okay, that looks quite close. Ooh. Go forward, okay, fine. I was about to say that angle is getting a bit tight. As you can see, my hands are off the wheel. Reverse. As you can see, it's coming up on the little display there. Oh, this is very impressive. Go forward. It's just it's going to straighten me up. Reverse. It's pretty good as it was, to be honest. I'm not too sure why it's being a little bit anal. There we are, done and dusted. That is pretty impressive. Now, I know a lot of cars have park assist systems, but I've used some where I've used a bay parking space feature, and they haven't always been fantastic. Let me step out the car. Oh. As you can see, that is pretty goddamn straight. Parked very nicely indeed. Look at that. Bang on in the centre, working very, very well. Okay, granted the bumper is overhanging a little bit, but that's not a massive concern. I don't think it helps that Mazda is parked really far back in that bay. But yes, there we are. That's worked very, very well indeed. Cracking stuff. So, probably a good time to take this off. Oh, my head feels a lot lighter. That's actually...
Now you look silly for so long.
Exactly. That looks heavier than sorry, that feels heavier than it looks. There we go.
Has it messed up your brain alignment?
Probably. So yes, overall the tech in the Citroen C5 Aircross works pretty well. I've got no real concerns. It does its job very nicely, and it's good to have a good amount of kit in this car, bearing in mind this is a mid-range model, so pretty impressive stuff. This car, in case you are wondering, is priced from £25,325, so pretty good value for the amount of kit you get for your money, and it all works pretty well. The touchscreen is good, the 12.3-inch digital display is nice to look at, the safety kit works well, the park assist works pretty goddamn well as well. You get what I mean. So overall, the technology and the safety features of the Citroen C5 Aircross get a massive thumbs up from me. Well done, Citroen. Good stuff. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have found it useful. If so, give it a big thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.